I've lived in the area since 1972, and what's rewarding about working at the Water District is that I make a contribution to the community that I live in.
Las Virgenes Municipal Water District was established in 1958 when residents of Hidden Hills joined Elizabeth Hughes and the Agoura Water Committee in a grassroots effort to bring water to this arid region. During the next 50 years, LVMWD would not only supply the community's drinking water, but build a state-of-the-art wastewater treatment facility, lead the way on water recycling, and become a national leader in conservation and education. Mac and Alice Stelle were Hidden Hills residents who helped lead the fight for water.
Oh, that's true. It was about 1956, starting to take our showers for Sunday, and we turned on the faucet and nothing came out. And pretty soon we discovered that almost everybody in the community was out of water. Disaster, absolute disaster.
The developer who had put in a basic water system, certainly not large enough for the community, he thought that we would ultimately annex to the city of Los Angeles, and the Department of Water and Power would provide us with water and everybody would be happy.
Agoura had the same problem about 5 years before we did. They got water. One of the local firemen, a fellow by the name of Huey, he took his truck and he went from house to house and sold them water for a penny a gallon.
Eleanor de Carteret and I ran a newspaper, and we just had no way of getting news out. And the newspaper's first task was to persuade the voters to vote for the Water District.
Well, the district was serving 78,000 acres, 122 square miles, and had 1,200 meter connections at the time I came out. With the 1,200 customers, the amount of money that was available was very small. A farmer by the name of Joe Sampo was growing pumpkins in the area currently occupied by the middle school across the street. The water was so bad, it was almost brackish.
There had been a district-wide bond issue to construct the pipeline all the way from Burbank.
The property owners knew that they needed water and sewer service in order to obtain building permits, and so they were very generous. Art Wisen, for instance, gave us literally miles of rights-of-way over his holdings in order to install the pipelines.
Designing a water system for Las Virgenes district was a real challenge because of the expanse of the area. It varies in elevation from 900 feet to over 2,500 feet.
Will Stokes became general manager and chief engineer in the same year Agoura High School opened. In 1967, LVMWD began installing meters in Westlake's first neighborhood and making plans to build a reservoir for self-sufficiency.
The Las Virgenes district is at the end of the pipeline. For the district to be able to supply water, having emergency storage, seasonal storage is most important for the district to be able to supply water.
The reservoir was proposed in 2 valleys with a single dam, so the water surface would look like a butterfly. The developer offered us the land free if we would build a higher dam and smaller reservoir in order to allow one of the 2 valleys to be developed for homes.
It was a very wise decision to move ahead with the construction of the reservoir. The environmental laws, the surrounding development, construction costs, and everything would have made it almost impossible to do today.
At the time Las Virgenes Reservoir was built, it was expected that 200,000 people would eventually live between Hidden Hills and Thousand Oaks. Under an agreement with Triunfo Sanitation District, Las Virgenes built the Tapia Water Reclamation Facility to treat the sewage that would result from that growth. The district also began taking a leadership position in the community by tracking proposed development.
My dad always said that where water goes, people follow. It became a very important thing for me to see that the water went where people needed to go.
Within 3 years of its construction, the Tapia Water Reclamation Facility was expanded, as it would be 3 more times to meet the demands of the community. The well-run facility won the EPA's National Award for Exemplary Management, and the district laid plans to reuse Tapia's recycled water for irrigation, at one time laying more purple pipe per capita than any utility in the state. The district also established one of the first agricultural facilities for sludge disposal in the country and the first composting facility in Los Angeles County.
We told all the developers that they needed to put 2 pipelines in the street, one pipeline for recycled water and the other for potable water. Metropolitan Water District was able to help us finance the Western pipeline system, which took recycled water all the way into Westlake Village and ultimately into Ventura County. It was the vision that our directors had that enabled this district to become a community asset rather than just another service facility.
As the community's values began to shift from development toward open space and environmental protection, LVMWD established the Department of Resource Conservation and Public Outreach. Westlake Village and Agoura Hills had already incorporated to control growth, and Calabasas would soon follow.
It was my early feeling as manager of the district that it was located in such a beautiful area of the Santa Monica Mountains that it was extremely important that the district exert itself to be very environmentally friendly and provide a lot of assistance in water conservation.
And with environmental stewardship came education, a role assumed by the second woman to serve on the district's board of directors.
My mother decided to run for the water district board because my father was stepping down out of that position because of his work-related pressures, and she knew enough about it and was very involved in the community already through the school district and wanted to do her part here at the water district. One of my mother's concerns was how little knowledge people had in general of the water district. As long as water comes out of your faucet and your toilet's flush, you don't even think about it, and she wanted to change that. I would say that my mother would think that the biggest achievement that she made while a director was the water awareness contest that runs annually in the school district.
Over the last 5 decades, instead of serving over 250,000 people, we anticipate serving 90,000 people. 47% of our service area is now held by the public in open space or parklands.
In the 30s, communities like Malibu Lake, people were given 30 gallons of water per family per day. Well, the issues now are much more subtle than they were in the old days. It would be wonderful if we could move forward in treating the water that comes from overspray of our yards and at the same time use our recycled water in a positive way in the wetlands.
We've come full circle over the last 50 years. We started our humble beginnings in needing water for this valley and this region, and today we still need water. We also have concerns related to urban runoff and pollution, and the district's going to have to continue to be a leader in focusing on these issues so that we can be successful in providing the appropriate level of service to our customers, the high quality of service they've come to expect over the last 50 years.